y'all, welcome back to my channel.
He's on the track.
Spoiler alert, I am probably going to pronounce the names wrong majority of the time. As you can see by the title, today we're going to be reviewing Capcut. Make sure you grab your snacks for all the book readers. If you are planning on reading this series, or you've just read it and you want to see other people's viewpoint on it, I will be having spoilers in this video. And in my next video that I'm doing, I think I'm going to do a reading vlog of the last 4 books. And throughout every time that I finish a book, I'm going to be doing my spoilers in it or whatever like that. Enough with the rambling. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and share, the channel. Let's go ahead and get into it. So, like I said before, we are going to be reviewing the Throne of Glass series. These books are really freaking big and heavy, so it's kind of hard for me to hold them. So the order that I read it was Assassin's Blade, Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire. But I've heard that people read it that way, and then they read from Throne of Glass on, or it was another way that I think that you can read it, but I don't really too much remember. But I know it's like a different couple of ways that you can read it. So each book that I talk about, I'm gonna put in the little thing right here, just so we know which one I'm talking about, just in case if I just keep going on throughout and I keep forgetting to mention which book I'm actually talking about. I listened to Assassin's Blade first because I tried to read Throne of Glass first a couple months back, and I just could not get into it because I was so confused, which made so much sense once I listened to Assassin's Blade. Because in Assassin's Blade, it basically sets up the scene. It kind of tells you about Selena, however you want to pronounce it. Even though I listened to it and I should know the right way to pronounce some of these characters, it just, for some reason, it won't stick. So yeah, just FYI, disclaimer, forewarning, I will probably be pronouncing it wrong, so I do apologize about that. I listened to Assassin's Blade, and it sets up the story about Selena, Sam, the King of Assassins, where she comes from, how she became the greatest assassin, things like that. And then in the end, y'all, in the end is what got me. As soon as Selena started to like Sam, she paid off her debt, she paid off his debt, they were gonna go and have their life together. Of course, it just had to be some hater to come swoop him up and kill him and now make her go rogue. Like, she was finally going to get the chance to be free. She was finally getting the chance to be free. And as soon as she got that chance of freedom, y'all, they took it from her, just swiped it. Like, oh my God. You can't be serious. You killed him? Killing him? That's so crazy. The way that she had found him, the way that she went out to go kill them, I think the most valid crash out that I've ever read about. The fact that they just killed him was like, to me, it was so crazy and it was so uncalled for, because I was like, I just don't feel like he had to die. Like, we could have gotten here without that, but I feel like it would not have gotten to where it have gotten if that didn't happen. So for that book, I gave it 5 stars because I don't know, I just thought the little stories, and helping piece everything together so that it would make sense throughout the series was really good. Assassin's Blade, 5 stars. I was so sad about Sam's death, but I feel like, like I was saying before, it had to have happened. It gave her more ammunition, and it also showed that just because she's an assassin doesn't mean that she doesn't know how to love somebody. Finding out more about her throughout her story, I just think it shows a vulnerable side of her, even though there's other parts in the series where I feel like it shows a vulnerable side. But like, it was just her first vulnerable moment, a first glance into her being more than just an assassin. Like, she's genuinely a person that has feelings. One thing that I did dislike though is the King of Assassins. I hate him so much. I really wish I highlighted and stuff the things that I really disliked, but I think I can think of like at least maybe 1 or 2 of them off of memory. The fact that, number one, the fact that he threw in her face, the fact that like he found her and he who's nursed her back to health, and he spent so much money on her and she's his best assassin, and you basically saying like if it wasn't for him she wouldn't be who she was and she wouldn't know the things that she knows, like as far as like her taste in fine jewelry and fine clothing and the finer things in life. That part I did not like, because how are you going to do something for somebody and then throw it in their face and then want them to pay you back for something that you did? She did not ask for that. When you found her, she didn't have anything. You knew she didn't know too much about what was going on. So why would you go and take it upon yourself to put money in somebody that really doesn't even know what they're signing up for? To me, I think that's very crazy. But anyways, another thing that I didn't like is the fact that he did not come and help Selena at all. For her to be your best assassin, you basically raised her from when she was like, I want to say like not even 5 years old, because I don't want to say she was 5 years old, but from when she was young up until this point, I think she was like 17 when she left him. So at 17, like the least you could have done was go and help her, being that Sam was also somebody in your army too. Like he was one of your assassins as well. Like how do you not have an ounce of empathy for her loving him, you know, and them taking him, killing him, and then ending up drugging her? Because I think they put like a fume or something in the air to where she ended up passing out or whatever like that, and then it goes into the next book. But I have to remember, he is the king of assassins, so it's not like he's gonna really have empathy when it comes to this kind of thing. Like he's the king of assassins, he doesn't have a heart, whatever. So book number 2, Throne of Glass. First, I'm gonna start with the rating before I forget. The rating of Throne of Glass, I want to say that I gave it a 3.5 or a 4, because I don't know, the whole point of them drugging her, like I understand that she's a good assassin and she's good at what she does. I think that was such a, I don't know if I can cuss on here, but I'm gonna try to bleep it out. But I feel like that was such a bitch move. Like if you're the king, lord, whatever, whomever you are, to have poisoned her like that is crazy as hell. And then to throw her into a freaking slave camp, really? Like out of all of the things that you could have did, you sent her to a slave camp to be working in the mines to get whipped, and then you gave her these big old 3 lashes in her back that whelped up. Like, what is wrong with you? Are you crazy? I also have to remember that that was like, that's basically the point. Like he is supposed to be ruthless or whatever like that, and I'm glad that they killed him. I forgot who killed him, but I'm so glad that they killed him because he literally deserved it. But they didn't talk about that too much, I feel like, because I can't remember anything else about her being in Endovia besides her being there, her getting beat, and then her like having her breaking point to the point where she gets so close to the wall. I think that's where she could leave, and then they end up taking her back or something like that. So she was so close to escaping, but she didn't make it. And then here comes the freaking king of Arderlin? I don't know, the king of whatever. Him, he's another one. Hate him. He's just somebody that I feel like is so evil, and he just doesn't deserve the means to exist for as long as he is existing, because he still ain't dead yet. So here comes the king of Arderlin, however you want to say it. And he's doing like a championship or a duel or whatever like that, to where he's getting different people that he knows that I guess are like kings, or they have some high kind of status. They're going and I call it sponsoring people, because I don't remember the terminology that they use, but it's basically like a sponsorship, because you're sending somebody that, you know, you recommend to be a part of this trial or whatever like that, to be the king's assassin, basically. I don't know. I really dislike the fact that he couldn't get it through his head that like him doing what he did to Cain to get him to, I guess, kill other people and take their souls or whatever, to take their strength and their energy or whatever he was doing. I don't know why he thought that was going to work. Like, I don't know why he thought that nobody was going to notice. because they say in the book that Kang gets bigger and stronger, and he's like more boasty. Like, I'm so glad that Selena ended up killing him. What I did like, I'm not gonna lie, is I did like a little bit. Like, I didn't like Dorian that much, but I did ship them just a teensy bit because I just felt like their chemistry was so, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, you know, when you're younger and you have a crush and it's like you're flirting, you don't really know if you want to say like, oh, I like you. Like, you don't want to be that bold, so cute. But I also did peep, I'm not gonna lie, in the back of my head, I knew. I think from this book, I knew that she was going to be a queen of some sort. Mind y'all, this is only the second book. You don't find out for real that she's a queen until Heir of Fire. Or, I mean, if you're really like using your senses, in the ending of Crown of Midnight, you kind of piece it together that like, oh yeah, she's a queen, but you know, like, you don't know where for certain, but you do, and then you get confirmation in Heir of Fire. But I always knew that she was going to be a queen of some sort. It was either that she was going to end up killing the king and becoming queen, like people would vote her to be queen because she was just so heroic and da-da-da-da, or some type of family lineage. Because also in one of the books, it talks about her kind of where she came from, but not too in depth of where she came from. I think it was like wherever she comes from originally is with the T. And I don't know, just putting the pieces together just kind of did that for me. But I knew that she was going to be a queen of some sort. But even then, like, I did clock it. The captain, I knew in the back of my mind that even if her and Dorian ended up being like a cutesy little thing for a second, it was going to end up being the captain. And I only felt that because it was just the way that he acted when Dorian was talking about Selena to the captain. He was just like, oh, you don't need to be fooled with her. Like, she's a contestant. She's not somebody that you're supposed to be around, like, you know, fooled up with. The king was like, you know, saying the same kind of thing. Like, but even then, it was just like, Dorian and Selena just really didn't match. It was really like the captain and Selena, because they matched not only on like a physical level, I want to say, like as far as like attraction and, you know, the way that they talked with each other, but I feel like they matched each other as in like strength. And then they had the same like mindset, kind of background kind of thing. Dorian was just like a pretty male, and he was just good for like a little fun, cute little thing to do when you're bored, you know, just to entertain them a little bit. Not nothing too serious. But, you know, her and the captain, though, I'm like, oh, they might be in game. Throne of Glass, Selena broke up whatever they had with Dorian. They broke that up. Towards the ending, Selena and the captain get a little more bold with their flirting. Now we go into Crown of Midnight. Now, Crown of Midnight, I read through that. I was trying to read that book so slow, but I read through that book like this. Like, it took me no time because I was just so eager to see what was going on, especially like the connection that Selena and the captain had. And then me thinking about like Dorian, like if Dorian finds out what's going on between them, like how is he gonna react? How is he gonna feel? Like, is he gonna say something? Is he gonna go and run to daddy and be like, I don't want her here anymore, stuff like that? But obviously we know that she's the king's assassin. They have their fight. Oh my god, and I'm forgetting such a vital part, that Naima helping save Selena to the point where she did win, and then the friendship that she gave her. That's like something that I feel like I really wish they would have kept the character longer. The friend that she was to Selena, like, I love that. But now we're just going to go ahead and get into the Crown of Midnight. I know for a fact I gave 4 stars. Y'all, that book, R.I.P. Naima. I want to say R.I.P. Naima. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. Selena ended up getting a visit, or whatever you want to call it, from one of the past like princesses or queens or whatever like that that was first, like the first one of the kingdom or whatever. And she was a fade. I think she was like a half fade or full fade, can't remember. She was basically telling her like she needs to get rid of the evil that's in the kingdom and all that kind of stuff, and how she needs to become the king's assassin to fulfill these needs and all that kind of stuff. And gives her this necklace to wear so it'll protect her. And then, you know, obviously they were going through the things with the markings and stuff on all of that on the floor, and she was going down to the tomb to see what was going on, to see what everything meant, stuff like that. And I'm just so upset that she felt she had to be killed for things to fall into place with Selena, or for Selena to build up enough courage to help Naima's people and to try to like get rid of the king. Because I feel like Selena, like she was just like, you know, I only have 4 years. Because when she became the king's assassin, the king basically gave her a contract and was like, you're my assassin, don't ask me any questions, you do what I need you to do for 4 years, and then you're free. I don't own you anymore. You can go do whatever you want to do. She took that as like, you know, I let people control my life, and now this is like my last little stretch of people controlling my life, and after this I get to be free. Like I don't have to worry about anything anymore. I don't have to feel like I'm being held captive in any kind of way. Like this is just my time to just go ahead and get this stuff out the way. Once I'm done here, I could go live my life and be free like how I wanted to be with Sam. But unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way because obviously he got killed. So that part was really disheartening to me. I'm not gonna lie, because it's just like, girl, like I feel like Naima would have been so much help to her if she was alive rather than dead, because the way that she died, for one, like the fact that they had that argument before, then she died, and so her and Selena never got to like apologize to each other and be like, hey Bessie, this is really not what I meant, like I love you so much and I'm so sorry for the things that I said, I didn't mean it, like I do want to help you, it's just I'm scared. And it's not that I'm like, I am a coward, I'm scared, I'm very scared, because I'm so close to getting my freedom, and I don't want all of that taken away from me for trying to do these things. And that's just not who I want to be. You know, that's not who I want to be known for. I feel like they should have gotten the chance to at least have that type of closure or friendship or something before she passed away. But I also feel like, again, just like with Sam's passing, Naima's passing did the same thing. Just gave her a little more fuel to be like, yeah, like I have to get my things together. I can't just be okay with things that I know that are not okay. I can't keep falling into the habits of doing things that aren't, you know, one with my morals and things like that. So RIP her. And then the captain and Selena and their relationship, y'all, the fact that she took it there with the captain, and I really thought that she was gonna take it there with Sam, is so crazy. I know Sam is spinning around in that grave and be like, I know she did not give it to him. You held out all that time to give it to me, know me way longer, and you gonna know him and give it to him? Out of all people? But then again, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like the captain was very like, you know, this is who I am, but who I want to be involves you in my world. Like, it's just certain things are stopping us from, we can't be too public, we can't be flying around everywhere like everybody else, but that doesn't change the fact of like how I feel about you and how I know you feel about me. I will say the way that Dorian reacted, I thought it'd been way worse, because Dorian didn't help Selena when she was fighting. He didn't say anything to stop Kane from beating up on her the way that he was. He didn't go down and run to the side of, you know, the little outside of the tape or whatever like that to talk to her, to be like, you know, get up, you can do this, you got this, you're stronger than this. The fact that he did nothing to help her, I thought was just like, after that, I was just like, oh yeah, babe, you're not a good dude. Like, what is really wrong with you? Like, are you cool? I really thought his reaction was going to be way worse, but I feel like he was pretty chill about it, and I feel like he was pretty chill because he knew that it wasn't going to be him. Like, if she really did have to choose, she wasn't going to choose the prince. Like, she wasn't going to choose Dorian. She was going to choose the captain because the captain is who understood her most up until she went down the tombs or whatever like that and went and wandered up her little spell to open up this portal to talk to Naima, and then this crazy thing came out and they came down. Dorian and the captain came down to save her, and she ended up having to go through the portal, and when she went through the portal, she became Fae. Once the captain saw that she was a Fae and she wasn't just Selena Sardathian, the king's assassin, human girl, I think something in his mind was just like, oh shit, like, I think he shit his pants. Because just imagine to think, like, you already probably have suspicions about who this person is, where they really come from, what's their real name and stuff like that, because it does go into, like, later into the book about, like, who she is, and he's trying to figure out who she is for real and where she come from and all that kind of stuff. But just imagine to see somebody turn into, like, a whole nother person, to have all of this strength and this magical power. That is, like, kind of alarming. But I feel like the way that he went about it was crazy. Sending her off, yeah, that was cool, fine, and dandy, because you're sending her basically to her people where she originated from. Hence where, like, the queen thing is really, like, it really connects now. Like, you understand that she is the queen for real. I just feel like the way that he reacted, like, it was just a bit over the top for me, because I feel like for you to have been the person that killed Cain, you're the king's captain, so you've seen so many things. I feel like that was the last thing that should have sent you over the edge. But it also could be because, like, there is not supposed to be anybody who possesses these kinds of powers and stuff like that. Like, this kind of magic. Like, that's supposed to be done 10 years ago. So the fact that she is of Fae descent or whatever like that probably threw him off, which, you know, granted, understandable. But I didn't think that was going to be a real big thing for him. But I guess I was wrong in that case. It was the fact that Dorian ended up having magic. I felt like I knew it was kind of going to happen, but then again, like, I didn't know. Because it was just like, that would have to mean that the king is, like, from a certain Fae lineage, descent, or whatever, to where he has to have some kind of magic too, to where he got it from. Because obviously that comes from the fact that somebody in his family has to have had it. So the king having that and then having one of the word keys, I feel like is what helps him do the things that he's doing with building the army and all that kind of stuff, and getting Cain to be able to do the things that he was doing. Because to me, it doesn't make sense to me any other way. Like, I feel like that's the only way for that part of the story to make sense. And also, I feel like Selena should have never gave Archer any chances. Like, I really feel like she should have killed him way sooner, because I feel like he's the type of character that's just like, I know that you're playing me, but little do you know, I'm playing you too. Like, I'm not just some simple, like, no simpleton like how you think that I am. Like, I'm way smarter and I'm more trained than I let you on to believe. So the fact that he even got to get down there, like, he said that he worked with Naima, but I really don't even feel like he did. Like, I felt like that was a lie. I feel like Naima was, yes, working with people in Rifthold to help what she's trying to accomplish, but I don't feel like it was him. Like, even if it was him, how in the world did Naima get you down to that part of the castle if, to my knowledge, unless I skipped over something while I was reading, you can only get to that part through Selena's room. So how did you really know how to get down there? And then the fact that you ran away with the book and didn't even have a good escape plan, That was so dumb. That was so L of him on his part. Obviously, he was meant to get caught. Like, he wasn't supposed to get away. But that was so L of you. Like, you should have stayed where you was and got killed right there. As far as Crown of Midnight, those are really, like, the things that stood out to me and stuff like that. What I really also didn't like is the fact that he shipped Selena off. He, as in the captain, yes, again, like I was saying before, I understand it was to protect her and stuff like that, but I feel like he could have went about that in another way. Like, he did not have to ship her off for her to be protected, because I feel like she could protect herself. It really just feels like he shipped her off not only to protect her, but because he needed space. Like, he needed time to figure out if Selena was who he wanted to be with for real, because although she didn't change as a person, something that nobody knew about her was just revealed, and it wasn't revealed on purpose. Like, it was just something that just, quite frankly, just happened. So I really feel like he sent her away to figure out what he was trying to do with Selena, because he did say at one point that he would run away with her, but now you're shipping her off. I mean, I guess you did do a heroic thing, and when it said that, oh, to your dad, that you would come back home and take your rightful place of whomever you're supposed to be so that she can be protective. So I guess that's like cute or whatever like that. But I don't know. After that, I was just like, oh yeah, baby, you're not a good dude neither. Like, she was good for you when y'all were the same. Like, you know, she didn't have that big of a secret. But once that revealed itself, like once it was revealed that she was a fae, it was just like you were backing away from her like she had some kind of disease. That's crazy. Personally, to me, I just find that very crazy. And then, like, I guess the little moment that they had at the end of Crown of Midnight when he was finally sending her off, and he went down to the dock station and, you know, talked to her, and she spilled out everything that was going on with the king, with the word keys, with the hints, with the clues, with Elena, with Naima, with Archer, with everybody, with everything that she knew that she could spill out to him in such a short amount of time. I feel like, I don't know, I feel like even then he should have still been like, you know what, forget it. Like, forget the king, forget my dad. Like, I'm gonna come with you. I'm gonna come with you to protect you, because I'm sending you out here by yourself, and even though I know that you know how to protect yourself, you're going out here, and yes, you're going into a world where you're supposed to be, but like, who knows what could happen? Like, it could be a whole Endovia situation all over again. And you just left her. You just let her go out by herself. Every time she gets an ounce of happiness, she gets sent off by herself. Like, why can't nobody go with her and give her that comfort? Because going over the seas for 2 weeks to go be in a place that you haven't been in God knows how long, to go see family that you haven't seen in God knows how long, that's another kind of scary thing. Like, it's not like a mission that she's normally set out on to go kill people. This is big. Like, this is bigger than that. This is way bigger than that. But whatever. So he sends her off, and then we get into Air of Fire. I think I want to say I gave Air of Fire like a 4 out of 4 or 5. The auntie, baby, we don't like her. We're not even gonna get into her for real, because we don't like her that much. Like, the thought of her mere existence, business should have been stood on. She should have been dealt with, because it's just something weird about this lady. Like, it gives she wants to be the queen. Like, it gives she wants to know who Selena is, what her powers are. To, like, you know, in the Trolls movie, I know this is such a crazy like reference, but I think it's one of the Trolls movie where the singers, like the twins, the boy and the girl, they steal one of the trolls and spray him at like perfume to be able to sing. I feel like it's that kind of situation. Like, she wants to slowly, gradually take her powers from her and do that kind of thing at some point. I'm not saying in Air of Fire, no, but at some point I feel like that's what's gonna happen. But I also don't feel like that's gonna happen, because Selena is way smarter than that, especially now with her training from that man. Rowan. That's who we really need to get into. Clock it, baby. They're mates. They haven't said it yet, but him saying that you only can get one mate, but when they were fighting together and they did the blood thing that they were talking about, and Rowan let his powers flow into Selena, and then she went and removed him from his blood oath from the auntie and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, baby, y'all are mates. Y'all are locked in. There's no escaping that. There's no getting away from that, baby. This is your second chance. This is everybody's second chance, third, fourth, fifth chance at this point to find love, baby. This is mateship right here. This is true mateship right here. This is nothing like the captain. This is nothing like Sam. This is nothing like Dorian. This is nothing like none of them. Baby, he's a different breed. He's the one who really stands on business, who really is like, I want you. You're mine. That's it. End of discussion. When I think she said, you're mine, whatever it is that we got going on, like you're mine, as I think she said as a friend, but obviously, you know, she's alluding to more of that. And he says, I'm giving you space to figure out whatever you got to figure out, but you know what it is, basically. That tea for me. Something about it just gave like masculine leader, provider, protector, like that really gave manly. Y'all have ever read ACOTAR when Ice tells, I call her Fairy, but I think her name is Farah, that he put the stars in the night sky for her, and she was drawing them on the drawers and all that kind of stuff. When he was like, I knew you were my mate before you even know who I was, before you even could smell me. I smelled you at the party is how I came to find you. That kind of thing, that's what Selena and Rowan give me. It gives Rise and Farah, however you say her name, like that's what it gives to me. Comment in the comment section down below and tell me if you've read that series and you're reading or have read this series, or just primarily off of what I just said. Does that not give that? Like, does that not give the same thing, different fun? FYI, they were both Fae in Throne of Glass and in ACOTAR. Like, y'all, like it really just gives, like, I will say, like when they first started, I knew like they were going to be mates, but the way that it carried on, like the way that he felt bad for saying the stuff about he's gonna whip her and shape her, something like that, and then eventually later on down the line, like when she had burnt out and he let her sleep in his room and it was like, I'm gonna take care of you and stuff like that, and he ended up seeing the scars on her back. I think that's when he ended up seeing the scars on her back. It was like, oh my God, like in his head he was like, I'm so sorry. He was so mad at himself that he ended up like leaving out the room and really having to think and talk about like what he said and how he didn't mean it and stuff like that. Like the way that he acted in that moment was just so like protector. The fact that you took her from her room, put her in your room, it was just like, I understand now. Like the auntie really didn't want you for you, like she wants you for what you have. The way that he set her up to be successful when going to the auntie and talking to the auntie about the ring that she found, about the sword that she had, about the fact that she didn't know what she said she was knowing or whatever like that, like how he helped set her up to be successful, to execute exactly everything that she was trying to execute when she went to go meet up with them. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. And I also do want to say, I really hope that the people that she's met working in the kitchen, I cannot think of their name right now, but the two guys that she met in the kitchen, I really hope that like their friendship blossoms into something that her and Naima had, or better. I don't understand the witches too much. I know that they're supposed to help the king in some fight. I don't think the fight that they're supposed to help him in has happened yet, because Moran, or however you say her name, or Miranda, Morana, I don't know, however you say her name. I know she was just like crowned the lead witch or whatever like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I think that she's gonna end up being with Selena. Like, I think some way, somehow, they're gonna end up crossing paths and talking about what's going on or something like that. They're gonna peep each other and be like, we're here, and then they're going to get together, and then her coven or however it goes is gonna end up helping Selena in the fight. Because I know that they had already like figured out that the king was making human but not human people to be put out there to scope out the scenery, get more soldiers, train them up, and get them to fight and whatever like that. So I know that they had did that already. Oh, and about Dorian, the captain, Dorian's new girlfriend, the king, the cousin. The cousin, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the cousin was gonna be really shady. Like, I thought that he was gonna be a traitor. I didn't think that he was gonna still have so much love for Selena, like how he do, like brother and sister kind of love, because I think they're cousins. But that brother and sister love that they have, honestly, makes me feel so much better to know that like she has somebody else other than Rowan on that side, as in like on the side with the captain, that she knows that will be able to help her and protect her regarding whatever she's going to end up doing with the king. Because I haven't gotten to the part yet where she goes back to the king of Ardenland or whatever to go talk to him or whatever they're supposed to go do, because that's in Queen of Shadows. So I haven't gotten to that part yet. But the fact that the captain lined all of them up in his office, whatever, killed the girlfriend, set up the cousin to snitch on himself in a way, because he really didn't snitch on himself. Like, if we're being completely honest, he really told the king no information. Like, he really told the king nothing. But he did that to save the captain, which I thought that was very nice of him, because I think some forms of ways, like, he understands that the captain still loves Selena, even though they don't know, like, if Selena will still love him or whatever like that, or if she still thinks about him, and vice versa with Selena if he thinks about her. But I thought that was really nice, pretty cool. The fact that the king chopped off the girl's head, though, was insanity. It was truly insanity, because I really didn't feel like she deserved that. Even though, like, I understand, like, yeah, talking about your movements, but at the end of the day, like, she has people that she was trying to save too, like, but I don't know, that's not the king's job to understand that. Like, I have to keep reminding myself, like, that's not the king's job. The prince and the nurse, I don't know. I guess our relationship was okay, like, the fact that she was helping him with trying to like conceal his magic because he didn't like have a good control over it or anything yet. Like, that was pretty nice or whatever. But as far as them like together overall, I really just felt like it didn't make sense. Like, it doesn't match to me. And then he didn't even blow up for real when she died. Like, he didn't even try to use his magic then. But when the king said something about the captain, like trying to kill the captain or something like that, that's when he used his magic. It was really just given that the nurse was, yes, one, helpful, but two, just like he was just trying to get under somebody to really get over his feelings of Selena. Because now it's just like, oh, well, I know I can't have her. The captain can't have her. So now I really can move on because nobody's happy with the girl that I really want to be with, kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like their relationship was a little bit weird. Oh, and back to the witch. So how they say that she doesn't have feelings and stuff like that. I think the first incident with how she picked her mount or whatever, I feel like that gave her like a little bit of hints of like some kind of feeling, some kind of emotion. And then when they had the trial or whatever to do the little games to see who was going to become the lead witch, and she saved the girl was falling, that was another thing that gave her emotion. It was just like, oh, this is kind of what emotion feels like. And then when she had to kill the girl at her party or whatever, to take her cloak off of her and stuff like that. That was like another thing that was like, maybe I do have feelings, and it's just my grandma that's beating it into me that I don't have feelings. The grandma, I don't like her. She's evil. Obviously, she's a witch. She's supposed to be evil, but I feel like she's another kind of evil, like the kind of evil that would kill this girl and put somebody else in her place just because it's just like, you're not following what I want you to do, and you're a disgrace. You're disobeying me, and I'm over it. I don't want to deal with it. So you gotta go so somebody else can come. It's somebody else that I know is gonna get the job done how they're supposed to get done. Because at the end of the day, like, their main focus is to get their lands back. I guess so. I don't know. I don't want to make this review too long. I think I'm gonna stop here. I think I really covered everything. And I am going to be doing a reading vlog with spoilers, reviewing the books as I go. So that's going to be a long video in itself. And I'll probably chime in tidbits of the first 4. But this was just me reviewing the first 4 of the series of Throne of Glass. I really hope you guys enjoyed. I want to know what you guys' feedback on the books. If you read the books, no spoilers, please, for the next 4 books, because I haven't read that yet. I'm probably going to take a break from Throne of Glass and start reading this book. I'm supposed to be buddy reading with my friends, so I'm going to end up recording that as well so you guys can see my POV of the book. And then my friend Sarah, and I don't know too much if Adriana is going to do one. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you guys get to see her POV as well. But like I was saying, make sure you comment in the comment section below how you guys felt if you read the book, planning on reading the books. How do you feel about my POV from the books? And if you do end up reading the books, I want you guys to come back to this video, or if my part 2 of Throne of Glass review, reading vlog, spoilers kind of thing is up, go under that video and tell me how you guys feel about the series. How do you guys feel so far in the books that you have read? Likes, dislikes, ratings, the whole 9. I really hope that y'all enjoyed this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on your post notifications so you know every time that I post, and you can become one of the besties. And yeah, until next time.
He's on the track.